Every day, the city wakes with a sigh, a symphony of distant sirens, and the low hum of engines beginning their rhythm. For me, the first glint of dawn painting the skyscrapers isn't just a new morning. It's the opening curtain on another shift, another chance to navigate these intricate veins of asphalt and concrete. My name is Alex, and this old cab. She's more than just a car. She's my office, my companion, and sometimes my confessional. The city breathes, and I breathe with it. Each street corner holds a story, each passenger a fleeting glimpse into another life. I've seen joy, heartbreak, hurried ambition, and quiet desperation, all from behind this worn steering wheel. It's a good life, an honest one, even if it often feels like a relentless dance with traffic and time. Layla, my wife, often says I have the city in my blood, that I speak its language, and maybe she's right. It's certainly a language of endless movement, of waiting and rushing, of small victories and unexpected hurdles. This morning felt particularly crisp, full of promise. The air had that clean, post-rain scent, and the early sun was already warming the dashboard. A good sign, I thought. A day for smooth rides, polite passengers, and the satisfying thrum of a well-earned fare. I had a long day ahead, a route that would take me through the bustling heart of downtown, past the quiet residential streets, and out to the industrial edges where the city's pulse felt a little slower, a little more deliberate. Each pickup, each drop-off, a tiny thread woven into the vast tapestry of the day. There's a strange sort of peace in the routine, you know? The familiar feel of the gear shift, the precise turns I've memorized over years, the subtle lean of the cab as I take a corner. It's a dance, a delicate balance between intuition and experience. I know when to push, when to yield, when to find that hidden shortcut that shaves precious minutes off a journey. It's about more than just driving. It's about anticipating, reading the road like a book, understanding the silent language of other drivers, and the unspoken urgency of a passenger. My first few fares were exactly what I'd hoped for: quick, easy, no fuss. The kind of effortless flow that makes you feel like the city is on your side, guiding you along. I was making good time, the meter ticking steadily, a comfortable rhythm settling into the cab. Each green light felt like a personal nod from fate. I even managed to grab a quick coffee, the bitter warmth a welcome companion against the morning chill. It was the kind of morning that makes you hum a little tune under your breath, a sense of quiet contentment settling in. But the city, she's a fickle mistress. Just when you think you've mastered her moods, she throws a curveball. It happened so fast, a blur of unexpected movement. I was focused, I truly was, but in the blink of an eye, a moment of lapsed attention, a misjudgment of distance, and then the sickening crunch. It wasn't a major accident, not by city standards, but it was enough. Enough to leave a jagged scar on the fender, and an even deeper one for a moment on my confidence. The kind of mistake that gnaws at you, echoing in your head. The immediate aftermath was a blur of flashing lights, hurried words, and the cold, sinking feeling in my gut. That sickening lurch of the stomach when you realize you've made a serious error. It wasn't just the damage to the cab. It was the disruption, the delay, the sheer weight of knowing I'd failed, even if only for a split second, to be the vigilant driver I always prided myself on being. Each scrape on the metal felt like a direct hit to my resolve. I saw my careful day unraveling, every smooth turn replaced by the harsh reality of a mistake. The passenger, thankfully, was understanding, though clearly inconvenienced. I tried to apologize, my words catching in my throat, tasting like ash. The paperwork, the phone calls, the waiting, it all stacked up, each minute a lead weight on my shoulders. I pictured Layla, her gentle face, and imagined her worry if I told her. This was my livelihood, our livelihood, and I'd just put a dent in it, literally and figuratively. The easy rhythm of the morning had shattered, replaced by a discordant clang. The city, which had felt like a friend, now seemed to mock me with its indifferent bustle. The silence in the cab after everyone had left, after the initial storm had passed, was deafening. It felt heavier than any traffic jam. I just sat there, the engine off, listening to the distant drone of the city, feeling the weight of the day pressing down on me. What do you do when the very thing you rely on, the very skill you pride yourself on, falters?
Hey!
How do you pick up the pieces when your tools are broken and your confidence is bruised? It was a moment of profound doubt, a chasm opening up beneath my feet. But a taxi driver doesn't have the luxury of wallowing. The city doesn't stop, and neither can you. There's always another fare waiting, another journey to be made. With a heavy sigh, I assessed the damage. It was cosmetic mostly, but enough to remind me of the blunder with every glance. Still, the wheels turned, the engine hummed. The cab was still operational, still capable. The question wasn't if I could drive, but if I could drive, truly drive after that. Could I trust my instincts again? The next fare came in, a ping on the dispatch system. Another pickup, another chance. My hands felt a little clammy on the wheel, my eyes scanning the road with an almost frantic intensity. Every car seemed to loom larger, every pedestrian a potential hazard. The easy confidence was gone, replaced by a cautious, almost brittle awareness. This wasn't just about getting from point A to point B anymore. It was about proving something to myself, about silencing that nagging voice of doubt. I focused harder than I ever had before. Every lane change was deliberate, every mirror check meticulous. The city seemed to test me, throwing unexpected turns, sudden braking, the usual urban chaos. But this time, I was ready. I anticipated, I reacted, I wove through the traffic with a renewed, almost desperate precision. It was like learning to drive all over again, but with the ghost of my mistake riding shotgun, a constant, silent reminder. The pressure was immense, a tight knot in my chest. Each block felt like a mile, each traffic light a test of patience. The air in the cab seemed thick with unspoken tension, though my passenger, absorbed in their phone, was blissfully unaware. I could feel the sweat on my palms, the slight tremor in my hands. This wasn't just a drive. It was a battle against my own inner demons, a fight to reclaim the sense of control I'd lost. I remembered Layla's words, "You're stronger than you think, Alex. The city taught you that." Her quiet faith was a beacon. Then, slowly, imperceptibly at first, something shifted. With each successful maneuver, each safely navigated intersection, the knot in my chest began to loosen. The city's rhythm, which had felt so hostile, started to feel familiar again. I wasn't just reacting anymore. I was anticipating, flowing with the traffic, not fighting against it. The car, my old cab, felt like an extension of myself once more, responsive and reliable. The damage to the fender was still there, a visible reminder, but it no longer felt like a brand of shame. Instead, it was a battle scar. When I finally pulled up to the curb, the destination reached, the passenger safely delivered, a wave of profound relief washed over me. It wasn't just about completing the trip. It was about completing this trip, under these circumstances. I had faced the music, stared down my mistake, and kept going. The city hadn't swallowed me whole. I had navigated its challenges, even after faltering. The quiet satisfaction that settled in was deeper, more meaningful than any easy fare could ever provide. As the day drew to a close, and the city lights began to twinkle like scattered diamonds, I felt a different kind of tired. Not the bone-weary exhaustion of a tough day, but the fulfilling fatigue of a battle won. The dent in the fender was a physical mark of a critical error, yes, but it was also a testament to resilience, to picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and getting back on the road. It taught me that even the biggest blunders aren't necessarily dead ends, but often they are simply detours. They are stepping stones. This city, in all its unforgiving glory, constantly teaches you that life isn't about avoiding mistakes, but about how you respond to them.
Bye-bye.
It's about the grit to keep going, the humility to learn, and the courage to face the next challenge head-on. As I drove toward the glow of home, towards Layla, I knew that tomorrow the city would wake again, and so would I. Ready to write another chapter, another story on these endless streets, wiser for the journey. And that, in itself, is a kind of redemption,